What's up, wrestling fans? Joe White here. Gonna talk a little Queens of Combat on the channel today. I was lucky enough and grateful to have gotten tickets to these two shows for my birthday. So thank you very much. You know who you are that gave me those tickets for my birthday. It was a hell of a birthday present. I appreciate it. It's probably one of the best birthday presents I ever gotten. You give me wrestling tickets for my birthday, I'm a happy boy. I'll just say that right now. But I went to Queens of Combat. I think it was Rebirth of a Queen, Volume 20 and 21 at the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium in Gibsonville, North Carolina. As you can see by the poster on your screen, their champion Su Yung was their quote-unquote headliner, if you will. And I was excited to see Su Yung. I really was excited to see her. I've seen her on the internet and Shimmer and all these other places, but I've never seen her live. And man, was it awesome seeing her live. In fact, it was awesome seeing all these women live. But I'm not going to go through a full match-by-match rundown because I'm not sitting in the stands with a piece of paper and a pen, and nobody online has posted results yet. But I'm going to give you my thoughts of who stood out to me and who I'm going to seek out afterwards. And who, you know, all these women worked their asses off. It's not a knock on any of these women whatsoever if I don't mention their names, but it's just what I take away from this. So no offense to any of the women on the show, but this is just my opinion. All wrestling is subjective. So before we get into it, I want to thank you guys for tuning into this. And if you like what you're hearing, and if you like what you're going to hear and see, sometimes and see, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Look, YouTube has made changes to their partnership program, and we're a victim of those changes. We stand to lose our partner status within 30 days. So if you'd like to help us out and reach that 1,000 subscriber goal, hit that subscribe button and help us get to 4,000 hours of total time. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button too, and leave a comment down below. And of course, share this content so that others can join in with you. So Queens of Combat, the Sportatorium. Let me talk about the Sportatorium. I've talked about the Sportatorium many times on this channel, and most of all in the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show that I do, because that's their home arena. And that show is live every Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the channel. Right after their worldwide show debuts at 9 o'clock, CWFworldwide.com to catch up if you would like. But the building itself, why more indie promotions don't rent out this building, I will never know. It is a hell of a building. You can fit 300 people in there easily. You can tape you have your tapings there. It looks great on camera. It's small, it's intimate, it's like theater in the round almost. It's beautiful. So more promotions need to run this building. Shakara's ran that building. Queens of Combat runs that building. A couple other people have ran the building. Ye who shall not be named. Anyway, we're not getting into that here. But aside from Tessa Blanchard and Priscilla Kelly, I had never seen any of these women live. I've seen Priscilla Kelly because she's done shots for CWF Mid-Atlantic in the past. And Tessa Blanchard, I've seen her, of course, you know, at PWX. In fact, the last time I saw her live, I think, was at the first X16 tournament a couple years ago in a match with her and Cedric Alexander where she took one hell of a lumbar check. She worked her ass off that night. So they were taping episodes 20 and 21. And I got there just in time to see the Su Yung meet and greet in the ring. Let me tell you something about Su Yung. She came out for the meet and greet in full gimmick, full face paint, full character, banging her kendo stick on the ground and just in all full character, man. The Undead Bride, Su Yung. And this gimmick, man, I read online that she was once hired by WWE. They are fools for letting her go. This gimmick is the freaking... Oh, man, it's one of the best I've ever seen. She came out there in full gimmick with the robe and the headdress and all that good stuff and the stick. Let me tell you another thing. She's very polite, too, because everybody who partook in the meet and greet for her, she held the ropes open for them so that they could get in the ring. Every single one of them. She held the ropes when they got in the ring. She held the ropes when they exited the ring. She was a absolute jewel to watch. And this is just a meet and greet, and I'm already enamored and fascinated by this lovely young woman. So, one of the fans, I got to talk about the fans for a second. I don't want to get too deep into this. But some of the shit that you people do when you meet these women really makes me cock my head to the side like a dog and wonder, really? Unless there is a ulterior motive here, some of the shit that you people, I don't know. I'm not going to criticize the fans all that much. I love each and every one of you, and I thank you for listening. But golly, something's got to change when it comes to the quote unquote, I guess you would say the fandom or the way we present ourselves and the way we act. Our etiquette is horrible sometimes at these shows. One of the things that made me it didn't piss me off, and I didn't think it was wrong, but it made me cock my head to the side like a dog and go, really? Why is this happening? Is one of these fans, you know, they give the fans, when they do these meet and greets, they get a chance to meet the wrestler up close in person. They give gifts. One of them gave Chelsea Green, she did the meet and greet before Su Yung, gave her a nice gift bag with some goodies in it. And then Su Yung comes in for her meet and greet. Lovely Su Yung. And one of these fans has in a Safeway bag, which we don't even have Safeway in the Mid-Atlantic. I think Safeway is northern, so this guy was traveling from up north. He brings into the ring, he's getting ready to do his meet and greet and get his picture taken, and he brings into the ring for Su Yung a Papa John's pizza and a 12-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Nothing wrong with beer and pizza. Nothing wrong with giving a woman beer and pizza. Women like beer and pizza. Hell, I've even been known to drink beer and eat pizza a time or two in my life. I don't drink beer anymore, but I will eat the pizza. People like pizza. But is that really the place? You know, Jim Cornette gets presented with 12 packs of Sprite everywhere he goes. That's one thing. But let me know in the comments below if I'm missing something here, because this was my first Queens of Combat show. This was my first time seeing about 90% of these women live. I have not watched Queens of Combat on DVD or anything, so I don't know. Maybe it's a storyline to present the undead bride a sacrifice of beer and pizza in hopes that she will have, maybe that's a good luck charm, that the undead bride, Su Yung, will have a good match if you give her beer and pizza. Maybe she should use that as a new gimmick. She should come out to the ring, lay her kendo stick down as an altar before the show, and you will pay penance to her with Papa John's pizza and Pabst Blue Ribbon. But this fan, and Su Yung sold it great. She was so surprised by it. She didn't talk. I mean, she kind of talked and had like little chit-chat with the wrestlers, but she was quiet to where you really couldn't hear her voice. Only the person she was talking to was privileged enough to hear Su Yung speak. I love that about her. Somebody playing into their gimmick all the time. I love it. So she acted all surprised and humble when the beer and pizza was given up as penance, as an offering, if you will. But it really may make, unless there's some ulterior motive to this, unless there's some, like, storyline reason behind Papa John's Pizza, which is my favorite. If anybody wants to give me a Papa John's Pizza, I'll eat it. And beer, then maybe I don't get it. I don't get you fans sometimes. Why you felt the need to bring this woman a Papa John's Pizza and a 12-pack of Pabst. I mean, yeah, I know that's the cheap equivalent of wine and roses, but come on, man. Come on. Beer and pizza. You're going to present this beautiful young woman. Beer and pizza. Have I said beer and pizza enough for you guys on this podcast so far? I don't know. But anyway. So Su Yung did the meet and greet and was awesome. She held the ropes open for every single fan. And I'm glad that she's in Impact and has found a mainstream thing. Hell, she may be the reason to watch Impact now if they book her correctly. If they book her with this gimmick, and if they book her where she never says a word and does the undead bride gimmick and everything like that, oh, man. Magic. It will be magic. Anyway, let's get into a couple other ladies here that really struck my interest here on this Queens of Combat show. Another one was, of course, Taylor Hendricks from Impact. It's the first time I've seen her live. She's awesome. She's, the red hair is awesome. I'm a sucker for redheads. I got to say that up front. I'm sorry. I'm biased. Her work is really good. Her and Chelsea Green make a really good tag team. I kind of wish their ring gear matched a little bit more if they're going to be a tag team. They came in as tag team champions. To me, if you're, it just seemed like a mismatch as far as styles go. I mean, but then again, all tag teams, most good tag teams can, learn to gel down the road. I don't know. Chelsea Green impressed me. She was really nice and her work is pretty good. She's really over with the crowd. Priscilla Kelly, it was nice seeing her back at the Sportatorium. I had seen her live before, of course, doing shots for CWF Mid-Atlantic. You've heard me talk about her on the after show a time or two. By the way, that CWF Mid-Atlantic after show is every Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern right here on the channel. Please hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon. You'll be notified when we go live. I tell you, Renee Michelle, she was one that was in the Mae Young Classic, and, she impressed me here a little bit. She was tag teaming with, I want to say it was Maddie Max, who had super heat, white heat, in the second taping, the 8 o'clock show. Oh, my God, they wouldn't let her say 2 words on the damn microphone. They gave her the Roman Reigns treatment, if you will. Maria Manic. Let's talk about Maria Manic here. My God, does this woman have a body? She's a bodybuilder, and it shows. She carries herself like she's got big, broad shoulders and almost has like that Terminator walk about her. The prototype, John Cena prototype walk about her. To me, she deserves to not be in a tag team. I mean, they had her, and I think it was Penelope Ford that she was tagging up with, join the Riley family. Zane Riley was the only man on the show, by the way. Why he was even, I don't get it, but that's storyline for them. So Maria Manic, I would look forward to seeing her live. How she, she just carries herself well in the ring, and she has a presence about her that just makes you notice her right when she walks in the room. Let me see here. Kiera Hogan only worked 1 match. They said that she was injured, so she could not work a second match in the second taping. I mean, to me, that's like, okay. A, she's really hurt and couldn't continue, or B, one less taping you got to pay her for. So, unless they come in and do 2 tapings for the same price. I don't know how it works. I'm not a worker. I'm not in the business. Samantha Heights. I want to talk about Samantha Heights here. She really impressed me here. The one thing that I will say about her is in the second show, she took on, it was her, I want to say it was her, Savannah Evans, and Alley Cat in a triple threat. And a couple things here all night long, and it wasn't just with Samantha Heights, it was all of these women. There was a little bit more too much comedy in the match. And, you know, a little bit much talking to each other. Like, you know, you duck a clothesline and the person would come back and you duck theirs. And you go to hit him with a clothesline and you yell, "See ya," before you hit him with a clothesline. You know, Colt Cabana type shit. There's a little bit too much of that on the show. Again, I'm not their target audience, probably. So it goes without saying that there was probably a lot of stuff on this show that wasn't for me, including the fans and the way the fans acted, especially during the second show. Willow Nightingale. Let me talk a little bit about Willow Nightingale here, man. She was awesome. I enjoyed her bubbly character. I enjoyed her work. I would want to see her again. Another one is Alley Cat. I saw Alley Cat on CWF Mid-Atlantic a couple months back. They had a tryout camp, I guess you would call it, or a seminar. And they liked her so much that they let her main event help or be one of the wrestlers in the main event of the RGL show that they had that night. I love her gimmick. Somebody threw a ball of yarn in the ring at her. It was beautiful. It was just, she went crazy for it. You know, she does the cat character. And I enjoy Alley Cat. I really do. A couple of the main standouts here. Hudson Envy. Oh, my God. We got to talk about Hudson Envy. She took on Su Yung in the first taping and was freaking amazing. I mean, I fell in love with her work. I fell in love with her look. I fell in love with everything about this woman right from the get-go. Her and Su Yung had a hell of a match in that first taping. It was amazing. Amazing. And, you know, it's just, I want to see more of her. This makes me wish that people like CWF Mid-Atlantic would book more women to come into their shows. But the reason why they don't is because 90% of these women would have to come from out of state, and it's just not financially feasible for them, you know, because they all ask for X amount of money, plus travel, plus hotel, blah, 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 and it's not feasible. So it's not financially beneficial to them. But I would love to see CWF start like a women's division or something, or at least have that, you know, at least have the Queens of Combat title be put the Queens of Combat title up at Battlecade, at least. CWF, come on. But Hudson Envy, impressive. Just downright impressive. Can't say enough good things about her. Again, you know, Taylor Hendricks, Chelsea Green, they were awesome as hell. Su Yung is freaking amazing. I got to talk about the second main event of the, well, it wasn't the main event. It was kind of like the co-main event. Was Su Yung defending her title on the second show against Tessa Blanchard. And here's where I'm going to go into a bit of a tangent here. I may not be Mr. Popular. Opinions are like, you know what? Everybody's got one. And again, wrestling is... I've learned that in 2018, that's my motto for 2018. You know, John Campea, the famous film critic, you know, he's a film critic, says that all film and all movies are subjective. Well, my motto for 2018 is I may not have to like everything in wrestling, but all wrestling is subjective, and that's what is awesome about the advent of channels like mine, is that we could come together, talk about wrestling, and not be, you know, wrestling. We could talk about movies, we could talk about video games, and not be shamed for it. And yeah, we may not like everybody's opinion here. We may not agree with everybody's opinion, but it's subjective, and you're entitled to that opinion. As fans, I think you are, and it's great that we can come together and talk about it. But with that being said, Tessa Blanchard versus Su Yung. I don't know if she, and let me put this up front. I don't know if she was booked this way. Talking about Tessa Blanchard here. I don't know if she was booked this way. And I don't know if she acted this way. The match ends with Hudson Envy coming out and interfering. And they're all three going after each other. Su Yung is going after him. Referee's holding him back. And all of a sudden, I think the build-up for the next show is triple threat between those three. It's a well-crafted storyline. It's a well-booked storyline. I liked it. The booking of these shows, just the general booking of these shows was amazing. Good storytelling all around. So whoever's booking Queens of Combat, keep it up. Doing a damn good job. So after the show, the start of the second show, Tessa Blanchard cuts a promo. And I guess the term ladylike, can we say ladylike in 2018? Is that going to offend any of you ladies out there if I say ladylike? Women have always said, I don't cut farts in public. That's not ladylike. I don't burp. It's not ladylike. Well, I'm one of those people where I was raised by women, so the term ladylike really didn't exist around me. It was, But when I go to a wrestling show, a professional wrestling show, especially a women's wrestling show, does the term ladylike still exist? And apparently not. Hell, even the term professional kind of didn't exist here when it came to this promo. And I hate saying things about Tessa Blanchard because she's one of my favorites. She's, I adore her work. Again, the first time I ever saw her was at the first X16 tournament for PWX, where she took on Cedric Alexander, put on a hell of a match, took probably the best lumbar check I've ever seen. Loved it. I love me some Tessa Blanchard. But that promo, again, I don't know if she was scripted to cut that vulgar of a promo. And I have a potty mouth. I'm the first one to tell you, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. I got a hell of a potty mouth, but I'm not on a professional wrestling show. I'm not a professional wrestler where there's kids in that audience. There were there was a good amount of kids in that audience. Granted, that's not their target audience. Their target audience is the beer drinking, Ring of Honor, This Is Awesome, Too Sweet fans. And the fans were showing their asses during the second taping with the 2 sweet and 1 fall. You all know how I feel about that if you've watched this channel. Hell, the ring announcer, Chastity Taylor, was purposely letting them do it. Was purposely saying the following match is scheduled for 1 fall, and then she looked back at the group of fans who were doing the shit and smiled. I don't agree with that whatsoever. To me, that's asinine and childish, stupid. You all know how I feel about that. You all know. I'm not even going to go into all of it. Every time there's a 2 count, 2, sweet, no. In fact, I was adamantly telling him to knock it off. It doesn't belong in that building, guys. If you're going to run that sportatorium, to me, that's... I know I'm going to come off as a total mark for this. First, I was stupid mark. I know. Stupid mark, Joe White. It's not sacred ground. It's just another arena, Joe White. Why don't you get in there and take a bump, Joe White? You know how it is. But anyway. To me, that sportatorium... There's a certain amount of class in that building. A certain amount of class. And to bring that classless shit, again, calling out the fans, that classless bullcrap doesn't belong in that building. And if you're going to come back to that building, in my opinion, leave that shit at the front door. I know. Stupid Mark. Fuck you, Joe White. I get it. I'll save you the trouble. I'll take your MO away from you. We're fans. We can chant what we want, Joe White. Stupid Mark. But getting back to Tessa Blanchard and her promo. My God, I never heard the F word come out of a woman's mouth so much in my life. I swear, I don't think I've ever heard a woman curse that much in my whole life. And there's kids there. Little kids. Teenage kids. Well, Joe, turn on the 6 o'clock news. Or hell, they could turn on YouTube. And there's dead bodies being shown on YouTube nowadays, so why not a little cursing? A little is okay. A little. I want to stress that. A little is okay. But there's kids there, and they're having a good time, and it's family. You know, wrestling should be, quote-unquote, family-friendly, unless if it's not going to be family-friendly to where I could, thank God I didn't have my 8-year-old with me last night. I don't want him hearing that. Yeah, he hears it a lot around the house, but you know what? When he goes out to I don't want him thinking that that's what professional wrestling is all the time. He gasps and asks me why people are saying that when he hears that mess on WWE from time. Somebody on WWE says the word ass, and he's gasping. And if this is not going to be your target audience, I mean, if that's not meant, put on here, hey, it's TV 14 or PG 13. PG 13 movies allowed one F-bomb. We heard several last night. MF and F and shit and piss. Come on. And then I read today on Twitter that maybe it wasn't the bookers. Maybe it wasn't all the bookers' fault. I don't know who books this, Queens of Combat. I know it's ran through High Spots. But somebody on Twitter at SODUTW put out, because I even put out on here, I said, somebody on Twitter put out that they put an amazing set of shows tonight. Too many highlights to point out, but Su Yung and Tessa Blanchard are both so good. And I put as a reply, that promo, though. And the guy goes, I loved it. It was gritty and real. And then somebody put underneath of it. Somebody put underneath that as a reply. He goes, the reality is that she should have been signed when Charlotte was still in developmental, which is now several years ago. But she has thrown too many temper tantrums at NXT that no one in the office will vouch for her. And she has a rep on the indies as being difficult to work with. I don't know if she's trying to turn that into a gimmick. I don't know if she has turned that into a gimmick. Again, this is, the first time I've seen Tessa really since the Mae Young Classic, and since that, it's the first time I've seen her live in a couple years. But if she was doing this on her own, I hope she got a talking to afterwards. You drop one F-bomb. There was a lot of cussing during the show, period, but it was during matches. It wasn't on the microphone where it was projected loudly. There is a difference. And yes, I know, even in that intimate of a setting, you're still going to hear it regardless. But come on, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm getting at here. I don't know if she cut that promo on her own. Again, I don't know if the office told her to do it. The booker, whoever told her to do it. There were a lot of people next to me going, hey, language. Watch your shit here, Watch your shit. Yeah. Watch your shit in language. No. But there was a lot of people beside me who had their kids there. One woman had a kid that looked to be like no more than 1.5, 2 years old. I know he's still young. He's too young to know what it all means, but you shouldn't be trying to give him a head start. And you should look at the crowd as a professional wrestler. Meaning not only is it professional wrestling, but you have to be a professional promo cutter as well. Maybe you should have looked around a little bit. And I know you're caught up in the moment from the match. You're trying to tell a story. But maybe you should look around a little bit, you know. If you're going to be a heel, look around with a scathing look on your face or a scowl on your face. And while you got that scowl on your face, look around and say, hey, there's kids here. Maybe I need to take out 3 or 4 F-bombs from the promo. 1 or 2 is fine. 1 or 2 is okay. S-word, it's fine. MF, But my God, it seemed like every other word of her promo, and it was, people fucking want to know why fucking Tessa fucking Blanchard is not fucking booked and not fucking signed and blah, 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 blah. That's literally how it was. Go back, go get the DVD. Unless they bleep it on the DVD or cut that out. Shit, somebody from WWE is going to see that and go, well, we can't sign Miss Potty Mouth here. Maybe she doesn't want to go to WWE. Again, this is not a knock on her work. Her work is phenomenal. Every other time I've ever seen Tessa, her work in Wrestle Circus has been good. Her work in PWX has been good. The Mae Young Classic was good. I know people again, stupid Mark, leave her alone, Joe White. Leave her alone. Oh, poor Joe White, what you little pussy, you can't handle a little cursing? Meh. That's not the point I'm trying to get out here. Again, I have a potty mouth myself. I have a sailor's mouth. But when you're a professional wrestler and you go into that setting, or if you're putting on if this was the Booker's thing, again, kids are not the target audience of this show. Kids and children, this is not, but have enough sense to put on your posters or on your advertising. And we're PG-13. Hell, Snooty Fox from CWF, Snooty Fox brung his kids to the show last night. And they were watching the show. I wonder what he thought of his kids having to sit there, his kids like being, 5, 6, 7, I don't know how old they were, but they weren't toddlers. I wonder what he thought of his kids having to sit there and hear that mess. Me as a father, yes, I curse like a sailor. My son's heard it 1,000 times before, but is that really what we want to paint the business as? Is that really what you want your product to be? If it is, great. Okay, I get it now. You want a raw, anything goes, say what you feel product. Maybe wrestling needs a little bit more of that, Again, we're always talking about how WWE wrestlers don't get to be themselves on TV and they sound written and scripted. But you can be raw and uncut and not scripted and still have a little tact. Have a little courtesy for your audience. Have a little, again, disclaimer. PG-13, there are some wrestlers out there. I think Progress is one of them. Progress gladly touts that their product is not for children. There's some shows out there that brand it adults only. That's fine. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I brung my kid there, if I had my 7-year-old kid there thinking, okay, we're going to go have fun at wrestling, it's going to be clean entertainment. Again, 1 or 2 F-bombs during the match. Hey, fuck you, Su Yung, kick her, that's fine. But when you get on the microphone and cut about a 5-minute promo and every other word's an F-bomb or an S-bomb or an MF bomb, that takes it a little bit too overboard, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, all wrestling is subjective. I'm just one big old dude. That's my opinion on it. I didn't take quote-unquote offense to it. I'm not going to sit there and write them a letter going, you people shouldn't be having such potty mouths. But all I'm asking is, if you're going to be like that, put a little disclaimer out there to where, families should go, okay, maybe we need to find a babysitter tonight if we're going to go to the Queens of Combat. And if it wasn't scripted, and I'm the promoter, when she gets back through the curtain, I'm going to tell her, look, I'm all for letting you cut a promo. You want to drop the F-bomb once during a promo, that's fine. But if you ever do that again, because think of how many parents are going to hear that and go, I'm not bringing my kid back here. Promoters are losing money. If that's, if they want to present it as family-friendly entertainment, the promoter's going to lose money, because I guarantee you there's a couple parents out there that were in that crowd last night. And like I said, there weren't that many kids there. I'll be honest with you. There wasn't that many kids, maybe 10 kids tops in that building that were under the age of 17. But still, is that the image you want to portray? If so, good for you. Put a little warning out there. Hey, might contain a little foul language. It's nothing you ain't heard. Hell, our president and CNN are out there saying shithole, shithole. I wanted to start a counter, and I'm sure there's people out there that have done it, for, the amount of news anchors, professional news anchors, that went on the news last week and said the word shithole, repeating what our president allegedly said. Well, Joe, that's the news. Yeah, but, do you have to say it? Can you blur it out? Can you say, not just say S-hole? People know what you mean if you have any common sense. And if you don't have any common sense to know what S-hole stands for, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you need a reality check, something to help you out. I ran on about this too long. I really have. I didn't want to make this video to become that, but that's just the way I feel, folks. Again, all wrestling is subjective. I will say that if Queens of Combat runs the Sportatorium again, I probably will go. I enjoyed myself thoroughly. I even enjoyed the promo. I'll be honest with you. I enjoyed Tessa's promo because, again, I got a foul mouth myself. I've been trying to ease back a little bit on the cursing on this channel because I know that's not what YouTube wants. So I've been kind of trying to ease back on it because I'm trying to present myself as a little bit more professional to you guys. But I can't say enough about all the women, including Tessa Blanchard, who worked on this show. I can't say enough about all you ladies. You knocked it out of the park last night. It was a pleasure to watch you work. And it was and I hope to see you back in that arena again. I don't know where they're going to run next. The Tessa Blanchard, Hudson Envy, Su Yung triple threat does have me intrigued. And if I don't see it live, I will probably get the DVD of it. Hell, I'll get the DVD of last night's shows as well. Again, that's just my opinion, folks. If I'm wrong in your eyes. I'm sorry. I can do nothing more but apologize to you. But I had a good time last night. I'm not going to say I didn't have a good time last night, because I did. I really did have a good time last night. I had fun. It was nice seeing some friends there, and all you guys on Twitter who said you listened to me and came up to me and said, hey, I enjoy your work. Thank you so much. Again, be sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. More importantly, hit that subscribe button. That's what's most important right now, folks. And I want to say, again, thank you to Queens of Combat, and thank you for putting on 2 excellent shows last night. I think I enjoyed the first show, the 4 p.m. show, better than I enjoyed the 8 p.m. show, but that's just me. But anyway, and maybe their mentality is, oh, all the kids came to the 4 p.m. show, so the 8 p.m. show, we could be a little bit more raw. That's prime time. But there was more kids there than you think. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching and listening. My name is Joe White, and we'll see you down the road.